Hey, beautiful. We got one more floating around in here somewhere. See who else we got here. I should have grabbed bottled water today. Oh well, I'll do that tomorrow. We got ourselves a 5-minute wait. Okay, which knife do you think this will pick? 1 through 5, 6 through 10, 11 to 15, or 16 to 20? Oh, you're gonna wish the paraframe on me? Oh, no, that's the one that's probably gonna hurt the most, but I want to find out what that mystery steel can do. So we got the Gerber paraframe here, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. For its time, this was a pretty good thing, but it can't hold up to stuff being made today. But Gerber won't tell you what the steel is. They won't. No one really knows. So I'm curious to see basically if it outlasts the Walmart Ozark trail knife we had. Midnight, what's going on, dude? I'm doing all right, man. We're just getting a live stream lined up, and we're gonna see what we get. And of course, we got the 7CR17. We've got the Harbor Freight Gordon knife, but with an 18-degree edge on it. The 4034 stainless, I think, on the Cold Steel 1911, and the paraframe. Bill, what's going on, man? Knives are life. What's going on? We're about 3 minutes away from this guy picking a knife for us. Everyone try to guess. Which one do you think it's going to pick? The wife thinks 16 through 20. She's thinking paraframe. We're getting a paraframe vibe off of her. All right, so we got a vote for Cold Steel. Kelly Keegan, what's up? Knives are life. What's going on? Yeah, all these are interesting for Pokey Sly, what's up? So we got 7CR17 on this Massalong. We've got the Harbor Freight Gordon knife, but this time it's got the 18-degree edge, so we can see how long 8CR13 will last on it. You can see it's a nice shiny edge. The Cold Steel 1911, it's like 4034 stainless or something like that. Or 4116. I'd have to look it up online. It's too small to read. And then the paraframe with Gerber's Mystery Steel. Oh, nice. I remember seeing a Voyager, but I don't remember what it looks like. I think the Voyager's on my wish list, but right now every penny that I have saved up is going to Blade Show, and I will be there Friday. We should be in line early and waiting forever. But I am looking forward to wandering around and checking stuff out, and I hope I find something insanely cool. I'm looking for a prototype of something. All right, so you're guessing 7CR17 on the Massalong, and that Massalong still, like, that listing was so rough to read, but yeah, we thought it was titanium, but it's not. So yeah, if I have enough cardboard left once Blade Show is over and I'm back home, we'll try another live stream. I doubt we'll use one of the brand new ones that I got at Blade Show, unless I find something really cheap and fun to wail on. Oh, I do like a large folding blade. Like I said, once Blade Show's over and I can start stacking pennies away for something else again, I'll be picking very carefully. There's a few Cold Steels on the list and some other stuff. I don't have any plans outside of trying to find a prototype of something. Other than that, it's just whatever I find that's the right thing at the right price that grabs me by the short and curlies. Words are hard. All right, less than a minute left. Here we are. Come on, give us something. This is all interesting. We got a 2. We rolled a 2, so we got the mess along. Oh, Kelly, believe me, Cold Steel is essentially my favorite company right now. Just, they consistently make stuff that I want. Trust me, I'm a big Cold Steel fan. Alright, so, it's mass a long time, and I'll tell you, if I hit any kind of good luck financially and we can get back above water properly, I'm definitely looking at one of those best sharpness testers and just getting one of those so we don't have to keep doing this to guess what the edge wear is. Let's flick the bean. So we got a pretty reasonable factory edge here. Ah, come on. Yeah, thankfully, I live close to Blade Show and I got a ride for Friday and Sunday. I don't have a ride for Saturday, and I'm not second tier. What's up, man? Knock off. A few more days till you can change your name again. But yeah, I'm not trying to park a full-size Dodge Ram 1500 in that little parking deck. All right, first cut. How she do? All right, that first cut's not too bad. So we're starting at 701. I started a later stream so that everybody can hang out a bit longer, and I had stuff I had to take care of today. So I wanted some time to try to catch a nap and, you know, sit there and dissociate for a few hours. Okay, these cuts aren't bad so far. That full flat grind's nice. Oh yeah, no, it's going to be fun. It usually is. That being said, a couple of my friends that I normally track down that every year aren't there, so it's going to be a lot more wandering around with Bushcraft Outdoors, checking stuff out, and just kind of going from booth to booth instead of running around trying to catch up with people. So I know last year I kind of left them hanging, but one of my friends that I only see at Blade Show was there, and I just kind of got tied up. Out shooting good. Deep sunburn bad. Yeah, I'll sunburn, but then it bakes into a tan. Native American heritage. And I can't tell how bad the ergos are going to be yet. Yeah, I tried to cut the grass today. It's been seriously overdue, and what passes for an HOA here has been pretty cool about it, but they finally sent a letter. Because every day I've had off work, it's rained, or the rare occasion it's not raining, I closed and went into opening, or opened and went into closing, and had been awake for about 24 straight hours. But I found bees in the yard. Which, thank God, they weren't yellow jackets, or I wouldn't be here tonight. Thankfully, I'm not allergic, but I would have been stung head to fucking toe. And just about all the cardboard we had tonight is pretty tame. I just grabbed what I could last night. Well, like, the HOA we have here is not oppressive. They're not your nightmare story HOAs. They just really, just look for serious problems. They've given us a lot of leeway on the yard looking bad and everything else. Like, these guys are cool. It's just, you know, with the way things are going right now, especially with work, even when it's not raining, I just don't have the energy to take care of it when I'm awake. Like, about all I can do besides work and doing this for my my gratification is sleep. It's just, I am an absolute zombie when I'm not having to be up and power walking all day. But eventually, if the Lord smiles down upon me, we'll get a large enough property that we ain't got to worry about that, and I can justify buying like a riding mower or something like that, so that, you know, cutting the grass is fun, not killing myself. Or, you know, in the meantime, Just a guess. What is up? What is up? You know, at least in the medium term future, if things go well enough, we can afford to just have someone come out and cut it and not have to worry about it. Fook, what's going on, man? We'll see you in a bit. But yeah, like when I get out to Blade Show, I'm gonna be kind of poking around, see if I can find Bees Blades. Say hi. Trying to think of who all I'm gonna try to look for. I'll probably see Lefty at the Devo booth. Drop by and see if he might have something else cool to get this year. I'd love to get another prototype of something from him. Outdoors 55 is going to be there. He'll be wandering around somewhere. Hey, those 22s are no joke to shoot with. You know, back when I was a kid, I was a decent shot with them. You know, it's been a long time since I shot. I wasn't going for primers and 12 gauges, but I was still going for some pretty small targets. And, oh, sorry, Bill. The last time I really had to shoot in anger, we had some stray dogs come in the yard and attack my dog. And one of them was running off of the property, and he was in the backyard and I was in the front yard, and he's running this way. So I am like running, kind of strafing, pull it up, swing, aim, pop him while I'm running and he's running, and kept going. But that was a pellet rifle. Like, that was a pellet rifle loaded hot and putting out a lot of extra power, but it wasn't a fatal shot. You know, I hope the dog ended up okay eventually, just not okay on my property. I really didn't want to bring a 22 out there because there were, you know, people lived next to us. But there were like 3 dogs that all came on the property at once, and the biggest one of them didn't want to leave. I'd load a couple of BBs into the pellet rifle. I pumped that thing up like 40 or no 27. That was the magic number, like 27 times, something like that. And step out on the porch and cap him with it, and he'd leave. He'd come back a couple hours later. He did this so many times that eventually he could hear me pumping the thing up in the living room and take off. So I'd have to go to the other side of the house, get it pumped up, primed, loaded, ready to go, and swing the door open and cap him. And, all right, brother, I'll be around for a while. You know this. But go downstairs and catch him with it and shut the door. It took forever to get rid of him. I also didn't want to unalive the dog because it was also a mess I didn't want to clean up. But what's everybody that's still here getting into? Yeah, Blade Show, I'm gonna have to make some decisions. I've got a bit of money socked away, more than I had the last 2 years. So I might be able to keep myself satiated by buying one on Friday, and then picking out a couple more on Sunday when I go. Try to catch some deals. I have a friend of mine that's better at it than I am. Help haggle. You know, so on and so forth. Where is this sticky stuff coming from? Like, these boxes don't have any tape or... Oh, they got stickers on them. Bill, you're going to have spaghetti. That's what you want. You want spaghetti, I've decided. Yeah, if I can clear some space out in the kitchen, I'm gonna just go ahead and make a pizza tonight. Me with knives, what's going on, man? We're just talking about blade show plans. And we got the Mass-Along in 7CR17 tonight, the 20-sided die decided. Which, you know, wanted to see how this thing did. And we haven't run 7CR17 yet, so I'm going to guess the edge wear is going to show up at about an hour 45 to 2 hours. Yeah, everyone venture their guess on how long this edge is going to hold up. Yeah, we got the Mass-Along. I did take the Sheepdog XL and drag it down here and put the 18-degree edge on it today, and oh my god, that thing feels so damn good to cut with. You know, that's not spaghetti, Bill. Ah, can't have nothing nice around here. Swear to God. Gravy Seal, what's going on, man? If you're a regular, I have no idea. I know I've seen Gravy Seal in here before. I know I have. But it sounds like you just changed your name to that. I am confused. No, I don't have a particular goal knife for Blade Show. What I'm going to be looking for is to try to find a prototype of something, kind of like last year. Oh, okay, yeah, I kind of figured that was probably you. But my first guess isn't always right. But no, like last year, I walked out of there with the prototype of the Devo Growler V2. And I had the Best Tegman Dundee, and I think those might have been the only two things I got. I think, like, there was other stuff, but I had to stop myself. Beefer Baron, what's going on, man? We're partying with some cardboard that needs to die. All right, 44-pound cardboard, some tougher stuff. Like, I've mostly got those Frito-Lay boxes. Last night I just had to grab what I could on the way out the door at work. And my manager wanted to save the nicer boxes for repacks and stuff like that, and I don't blame him. For some reason, the boxes started throwing them out. It's like, I don't know why. Yeah, it surprises me the number of people that are like fucking flying to get to Blade shows. Like that's that seems a bit excessive. Like if I got to go that damn far, that might wind up being like a once in a lifetime road trip, kind of like going to Smoky Mountain Knife Works. So the Dundee. Okay, you know what? I'll look at factory seconds. That's a good idea. So the Dundee is an interesting case. I enjoyed having this thing on me. However, this thing partially deployed in my waistband, and when I went to go tuck my shirt in, it stabbed the piss out of me right here. And like, I trailed blood from the sales floor all the way through the back room to the bathroom. Somehow I didn't get caught bleeding on everything. But, I mean, the Dundee was good, and I'm not sure that would ever happen again, but now I'm so scared of it, because the detent feels normal, everything feels normal on it, it bit me. It's tasted blood, and now it wants more, and I am afraid. We're going to cut this down a bit more, make it more processable under the camera. Oh! Yeah, that factory edge is okay with some things, but not all things. Well, I'm an absolute goblin. Like, once something enters my hands, it's pretty much mine for life anyways. And it's not like any of these things I have are valuable enough to sell anyways, or at least the few that I have that are valuable enough to sell aren't going anywhere. But yeah, like I said, the other blade show goal is just checking everything out and hanging out with some friends. Well, my knives have kind of settled in to where I'm going to be keeping them and using them. Like, I had the drawer and the bedside table has all the better knives in it, and then all the knives that have been run through a live stream or anything like that are all in a box down here, which I've got a pile of knives forming on the table next to me from I'm not even sure what anymore. And I did try taking the that little Damascus CRKT Minimalist Tribute and hand sharpening that, but that didn't go so hot. I'm pretty sure I was just a bit too ambitious and got in over my head with it, but that's okay. It was a valid thing to attempt. However, I do have this guy that I hand sharpened, which is a knockoff of a Gerber pocket square I found out. But I did sharpen this myself by hand and stropped it. Come on. It do be cutting. So for a second attempt at hand sharpening, I'll take that for sure. And it's probably easier than I thought it was to do. But yeah, above that 18 degree, like, I think this is close to 18 degrees, but I could be wrong. I probably need to get one of those angle. I saw the angle thing on Amazon, that little disc that's got the different cutouts. I need to grab one of those and see how it treats me. Oh, it scares the shit out of me every time it does that. And I will kick the farts off with the Ninja in a second here. That's not a bad idea, but it's also not that big of a deal to me. Like, the goal wasn't necessarily to, I don't know, the goal was just to see whether or not I knew enough about hand sharpening to get it right, which I did. I'm not worried enough about it to try to try to chase it down right now. You know, that angle finder would also be good information to have, say, for videos. You know, I can tell you what the factory edge is at out of the box. You know, there's a lot of information I can pass on to you guys with that edge angle finder. Tell you what though, this thing does not like cutting sideways. Oh yeah, that's right. Like I always do. Okay, we're gonna go down to six viewers. Where is it? There we are. But yeah, I said I'll grab one of those little discs off Amazon soon. There's several things that I want to pick up. And again, one of them is going to be one of those really cheap, like $35 fixed angle sharpening systems, and see how well that works. Because like I've already got the precision adjust, I'm set. But that is something I'd like to see for you guys, how well, if that works well enough to, you know, maybe take care of some of you guys that, you know, can't drop 120 bucks on something. Like I got it when I was in a good place, and you know, I was able to save up for it. Like I think it took me about a month to save up 120 bucks for it. But even that, you know, a lot of you guys that are here watching this can't do that right now. Yeah, me with knives, are you going to be there or no? Yeah, I've got two $35 fixed angle systems on the wish list. I kind of want to go ahead and do that and see, again, what it can do. Because, you know, like I bought the Lansky system for like 40 bucks thinking that would do it. And you can't sharpen a pocket knife on that at all. And the parts quality is straight garbage. Where is it? Like the Lansky system, everybody, like everywhere I'd seen, like I've seen guys with pictures of pocket knives clamped in here working on them. But no, with pocket knives, your stone hits the clamp immediately. Like you can't get it laid far enough back. These rods right here, the first one that I got out, it's like these are locked in here way too hard. But the first rod that I pulled out just snapped off right here with no pressure whatsoever. I mean, everything about this is just, I'm sure it's plenty good for like a larger kitchen knife or something like that. But you cannot sharpen a blade like this on it. It's just not possible. Which, disappointed by, I'll be honest. Like, I have no idea what I'm actually going to do with this thing. Come on. Get in the box. Okay. About the only thing in there that I'm that interested in is the honing oil, and I don't even need that for anything right now. Yeah, my store's assistant manager was planning on going until too many people were out on vacation, in management, and he wasn't going to be able to go at all this year. Well, again, Bill, I'm definitely interested in seeing how the strops work for you. Sorry, I was on a tangent and it took forever to read the comments again. And I don't know if anybody I know is going to have a booth set up. I'm pretty sure Ed Soul is going to be there. Swing by and say hey to him. And I've got to swap boxes out to catch diced cardboard. Give me a second. Yeah. Come on. One go. Sorry guys, I thought about doing this beforehand, but I really wanted to get everything I could out of that last box that I had. Bear with me here. Okay, that's good. That's good. Alright, what kind of edge crush test do we have on this? 44 pounds. Let's see, that is another trash cardboard box. Okay. We're back in business, guys. We're almost back in business. Oh, nice. Now, so you're driving the concrete mixer truck, right? And not delivering dry bags of concrete? Because that could be, both of those jobs exist. God. Oh. Oh, wow, nice. You know, while that seems like an interesting job, I've driven like the biggest trucks you can drive without a CDL through back roads, country ass areas. I've driven them through like Atlanta. I promise you I could not handle driving something that big day in and day out, especially into heavily populated areas. No thank you. Not for me, sir. You know, and that job also had me driving an hour and some change to work, getting in another vehicle and driving for anywhere up to 13, 14 hours, and then 2 or 3 hours driving back home. Well, shit, you got a ton of hours. You getting that paper, boo-boo. 3 paychecks away from having more money than God. But yeah, like that kind of ruined vehicle-based jobs for me. And if I do wind up getting another job at some point, which I don't see happening anytime soon, it ain't going to be retail. I have had my fill of retail scheduling. And the ergonomics are kind of iffy on this. They're not the worst I've had so far, but there is some discomfort. Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. Like, I've been there before. Like, the only way I'm making the money I am right now is because, you know, everybody has to pay more to keep employees. And I managed to move from part-time to full-time to team lead. I'm waiting to find out whether I move up to manager or transfer. Just give myself a change of environment, change of people. It's not the most uncomfortable we've had. Just remember, there's always the ST-155. Which I need to figure out how to sign that thing and just give it away. Just give somebody the meme knife. But, I mean, the job itself is okay. Like, you know, I'm doing well there. It's just the scheduling that really kills me more than anything else. You know, it's a lot of physical labor. You know, I am power walking fast as shit, like a good 6-7 miles a day easily. You know, and there's a surprising amount of physicality to that job. That's one thing I didn't expect. I will say, going in sideways like this, cutting across the grain, this thing sucks. No, I'm not back in. Like, I'm a team lead, which means really I'm a stock clerk with a bunch of extra steps. So I spend most of my time out on the floor, and then I've got days where I'm in the back room all day, like cleaning stuff up or working on projects. But, you know, I'm out there stocking and blocking, and because our retention's kind of low right now, I'm working on getting my crews trained up where they can take care of the blocking and stuff, and I don't have to be out there with them while I'm supposed to be doing 3 other jobs. You know, they can work unsupervised and I don't got to babysit. That's the goal. You know, now that I've kind of started seeing what kind of time that opens up for me. You know, I need to get the guys I have trained and working well. Because in the department, we have only got a few people left that were there when I started at that store. And that's one of those jobs where retention's super important because, you know, if you're running a bunch of people that aren't trained all the time, you're just not going to get stuff done. That's, again, it seems like if you could walk and chew gum, you're going to be golden, but no. That's the thing that got me, is like there's so much you have to know. It's not like just go in there and slam stuff on the shelf. You work for Baby Gap? No, I have no idea what that tagline is. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, I just sat here thinking about airwalks. I miss those. I want them to come back like they were when they were popular. Like, you know, there were the Payless. Oh, okay, gotcha. I am unfamiliar with Cabela's. I think I may have been to Bass Pro Shops twice decades ago. But like there were Payless airwalks, but you know, those are some of the lowest quality things I've had. Like the OG airwalks. And it sucks because like there was the Airwalks website talking about they were making a comeback, and they never made a comeback. Which is supremely unfortunate. It's like I still got Jinkos. I get some Airwalks, I can make it work. Probably not too far away from wearing the Jinkos again if I can't now. Oh! 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 If they do fit, I need to wear the Jinkos for Blade Show. Oh, dude! That's such a good idea. I had it. Dude! Getting way too excited about that. Dude! Well, yes! Don Bond, what's up? Blade Show, Jinkos. And the cool thing is they're making a comeback, so like I'll be in style with them. It's like I held on to them back when they were lame. Oh, I'm checking that out tonight, guys. I promise you. I'm gonna get some pictures. Y'all might not see them, but I'm getting some pictures if they fit. Dude, it was such a good idea. And I might be able. Nah, I'm not gonna carry too much in the back pockets. I was gonna say I might be able to carry my portable seat in the back pocket, but that's too much weight. My niece, when she was 2 years old, fit in the back pocket. Uh-oh. We're starting to have problems. How do you do, fellow kids? You can't tell me this took 40 minutes. You can't. But yes. Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't know too many places that continued being fun to work at after they were bought out by another company. You know, and a lot of that is, well, we got to start firing people because we're paying too much. At one place I worked, which is the also unnamed place where I was in a truck for 16 hours a day, or well, 13, 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. They hit a point where they wanted to be making more money. They went catastrophically overboard on profit above all other things, which that whole chapter's a mess. But everybody except me that they had that had been there more than a year, they found the first excuse to fire them and bring in new people they could pay less. And I mean, they were just thinking up shit. This can't be this bad already. It can't. No, that's what they did. So our daily production goals, those would be, they were $800 a day. All right. Anything after that, you got 10% of it as a production bonus. Okay. Well, after they started getting rid of people, the production goals almost doubled for everybody. Like mine went up to $1,300 a day. Now, instead of $800, they reset it so the production bonus kicked in at $1,000. So they also took $200 a month away from us when they did that. You know, give or take. The only reason I stayed there is because that's the only place I could work that paid enough to manage the house and everything else I had. Like, that's the only reason I stayed there. Like, that place was horrible. I'm glad they got bought out. But I might should have gone to the competitors and seen what they could pay me, honestly. It's like that shit was garbage. And when they boosted the production numbers, that also meant that like our stops were supposed to be printed once every 6 to 8 weeks. They had them force print every 4 weeks, which cost us a shit ton of customers. You know, people were just like, no, you said every 6 to 8 weeks. Like, this every 4 weeks shit ain't gonna work. And we're supposed to be out there every 6 to 8 weeks to keep up with the seasonal demands of a yard. You know, parts of the year your yard needs fertilizer, parts of the year it needs pre-emergent, all that. So we were supposed to be staying on schedule with the needs of the yard. And so not only were we out there too early, we also ran out of stops. Like, we'd be out of stops to do at the, you know, tail end of every month. So they start printing stops to just drive to the house and put lime down for free. And it's like, so you're telling me I get no production bonus? I am wasting time, and I am dumping a pointless product on this customer's yard that doesn't do shit for them. Yeah, no, I don't want no part of that. And at that point, I was so sick and tired of that job. You know, I was just driving to Target and sitting there for 8 hours, filling out all my invoices, and just driving back to the shop because they were free stops, so nobody knew that they were going to happen. Which is technically quite illegal. And if I got caught, I could have gotten fired. But I was so done with that place at that point. Let's see how this edge is, because this is starting to cut like crap. So maybe it's just this box. Did I not have any more copy paper left here? We got a small piece. No, it's definitely showing some wear already, but it's not catastrophic. Okay, this box just doesn't like being cut. God almighty, we're down to 2 people watching. I didn't even say anything about OnlyFans left. Yeah, I know it's 7CR, but it still shouldn't wear that fast. Which it looks like it's just this box doesn't like being cut up. Which is weird. Yeah, this is an impressively low number of viewers. I'm wondering if everybody else is doing live streams too. I think Mattisfaction's doing one either right now or later. Jason Beecher, what's going on, man? The 20-sided die picked out the Massalong in 7CR17. Yeah, I think it's just yeah, that's probably what's happening. I think this is just this box doesn't like being cut. Well, I guess oh. Yeah, I went outside today and tried to cut the grass. It's about the heaviest work I did. And I say tried because I found bees in the yard. Thank God they weren't yellow jackets. But I took about a cup of gasoline and poured it on the hole I saw them going into, and covered it with the trash can lids so that they got fumed out. So yeah, the viewer count's kind of up and down. Like normally we'll have like 9 or 11 kind of hanging out and lurking, but you know, guys that can pull audiences bigger than 9 are streaming right now. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, they got fumed out, and then I went outside and checked earlier, and there's a whole bunch of them still flying around, but I think they might be homeless now. Yeah, I've done the no AC jobs. I think I'm past the point where my body can physically take it anymore, and you know, with the summer temperatures getting hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter, I am so glad I'm not working outdoors right now. Like, don't get me wrong, that sales floor is still toasty as shit. Like, it's extra swampy in that building every day. And our store's assistant manager put in an urgent call to have the AC worked on. Apparently the AC is working just fine. It's just corporate sets the temperatures and we can't change them. And you know, of course, we got 2 doors in the front because we're like the busiest store in the district. So those doors up front pretty much never close. So all of our valuable air conditioning goes outside. Bill, you want to pick a figure out? We got Robot, Grim Reaper, Frankenstein, the Mummy, the Knight, the Scuba Guy, and the Alien. Fook, what's up? You didn't miss much outside of this box. Doesn't like being cut up. And we're gonna see if our next figure gets picked. We got the Massalong in 7CR17. The one that we thought was titanium until I got it. Yeah, what are we picking? We need our next part picked out. So we've got Frankenstein, the Grim Reaper, the Robot, the Mummy, the Knight, the Scuba Guy, and the Alien. So we got pretty much everything except the Ninja that I already did. We need to lower the property value and go back to 3 viewers anyways. Alien, all right. Lowering the property value with the Alien. Bill, I'm sure your wife is disappointed now. Get a couple more in here. Okay, we stayed at a nice even 7. If I can ever turn on super chats are going to earn one of those. Be like Bees Blades Wario. Super chat. They're steel, but they have that titanium coating on them. You know, like I'd mentioned in the video, the listing for this was incredibly confusing. Like on the header of the listing, it said titanium, and then it rattled off a bunch of crap. And then way down at the bottom of the listing, or somewhere hiding in the specs, I can't remember now. It's like steel bonded titanium, or yeah, steel bonded titanium. So yeah, they kind of, I think they were going for just catching people that thought they were getting titanium for like $10. It's like, I get it, it's a $10 knife. Punisher, what's up, dude? You know, it's, and like I know, $10. Do you expect titanium? However, the retail on this was listed as $29.99 on sale for $10, and you know we've gotten you know, titanium for $27, $35, so that didn't seem outside of the realm of reason. But I think they took down that suggested retail at $29.99, and now it's just a $10 knife. So we are finding out what a $10 knife can do, and the hot spots are showing up. It gave us the mass along with 7CR17. Titanium from Massalong? Like actual titanium from Massalong for $20. I'll check the assault team because I think that was like 37 or 38 bucks last time I looked, which that's only a $2 or $3 bump. Yeah, it picked the not titanium knife. Well, let me go, let's go on our Amazon adventure real quick and see what Massalong has to offer there. Because I think I looked at Massalong's stuff and nothing was terribly impressive. It's gone up to 4. Then that price jump was very recent because I think we had looked at it on the last stream. Well, it's not just that. It's a lot of stainless steels aren't magnetic either. Like they're not they don't respond to magnets. Or at least I've encountered a bunch of stainless steels that don't like magnets either. Which we can check and see if this is magnetic real quick. Yeah, this one do magnet. Okay. Why would it have a non-magnetic door? What sick bastard was trying to make Jesus cry? Like, I need to know. Like, I'm sorry, but if you design a fridge with a non-magnetic door, that tells me at some point in your life you walked in on your parents having sex and you decided to help them out to get it over with faster. That is some that is just sick. Maybe he had to, maybe the guy that put the magnetic in the door, he left early to go deal with the fact that his wife was sleeping with the guy that said this was titanium at Massalong. Is my operating theory. That is disgusting. Sir, why do you have massive schlong on the brain? Are you that lonely tonight? I mean, I can't really help you out with that, but yeah, I feel like we're already getting a dull spot in here. Pornhub's free too, dude. You've been doing it wrong, apparently. I wouldn't go that far, Jason. Well, it's not necessarily the 7CR17 sucks. It's just wearing out faster than I thought. I would have given it about an hour and a half, hour 45 maybe. That is only 1 CR away from 8. No. We're doing factory edge. Now that being said, if we're starting to struggle doing the cut on copy paper and all that, in the next 30 minutes or so, we probably will sharpen it to 18 and then see what it do. Which I did take the Sheepdog XL and put the 18-degree edge on it. And holy shit, that thing feels good now. Yeah, no, they did do that. However, there are plenty of other sites that don't really care about age verification. Yeah, well, I mean, one thing we've learned is with that 18 degrees, we can't really sharpen it to that first and then go in and have it really be a fair test of what you get out of the box. You know, it might only be a $10 knife, but if you're going to decide to buy it, you know, you're probably going to be doing work on the factory edge, so you need to know. And like the steel is kind of relevant, but it's like Punisher's a damn expert here. Like, I haven't had to use those skills in decades. Gotcha. All right. Well, we'll tone it down. Sorry, I'm not used to people doing this in a family-friendly environment, but we will tone it down. My apologies. As I said it last time, you get me on the right tangent. So I've got the Jinkos that I might be able to wear for Blade Show, but I don't have any Heelys. It's not going to be complete. And I don't think they make Skechers that light up for adults. I wish I could get away with that at work. Light up Skechers. Yeah, no problem, man. Like, what was I gonna say? Yeah, like a friendly heads up, even if you got to do it a couple times at the start, would make a difference. Yeah, we don't have knockoff in here to give us the exact chemical formulation. I mean, I have to assume it's got some MOV in it. Its full title is 7CR17 MOV. Yeah, I wish I could get away with that at work. Just, I can't, but you know, it's one of the things that, like, I wanted to work somewhere where there wasn't necessarily a uniform, there wasn't necessarily any of that, but you know, any jobs like that you get, you're not going to get paid. You're not going to get paid what I need to function. Maybe if I hit the point where my passive income will cover everything I need, I'll start looking for something like that, a little bit more mellow and laid back. But yeah, I can't do that right now. Again, I've got some jokes I want to make about stuff, but I'm gonna pass. Huh. Well, I mean, let's see if you can see it. Yeah, like, they're calling it MOV. That's weird. That's weird. However, I will dip into my emotional support generic Mountain Dew. But then again, you know, that's part of the thing with these cheap knives too, is I don't, some of these things I have no real faith that it actually is the steel that they say it is, you know. And unfortunately, I have no way to test that. Much as I'd love to, I can't. Mountain Do It Later. This is more like it. I mean, the Publix brand has always been good. Don't know who their supplier is, but like that is actually quite good. Like, I normally skip generics because they're always disappointing, but the other thing too is it's almost $3 American. $3 for like a 2-liter of Coke or Pepsi. Like, what in the name of God? Remember when those were like $1.50? Oh, no, sir. It is cheap stainless steel. Like, we know this. Yeah, see, like, and you're getting into the whole chromium carbides, vanadium, all that. Like, I don't know a thing about what difference those things make in a blade, so it's, you know, borderline speaking a foreign language. There's a Lowe's grocery store? What? Hold the phone a second. It's like you put those in the same building, you basically have food and stuff. And yeah, no, that's the thing is this might be like 3CR or something like that with just, you know, we're gonna say it's 7CR, although I don't know why. I don't know why you would want to do that. Oh, and I saw my post from last year's Blade Show. You know, I was talking about that table that had the guy standing there with just the paper tablecloth and a stack of knives on it and nothing else going on. That was Roxxon, and it was S35VN for $40. That was the one where I was kind of clowning those guys, but apparently S35VN can be really cheap. So I might have missed out on something cool there. Oh, gotcha. Oh, that is not diet, sir. That is regular, but it's quite good. Like I said, that's the thing. Like normally I don't get into stuff like that just because it seems like a complete waste of time to have a conversation about, but the Publix generics have always been really good. I'm usually disappointed by most of the other ones, but they're quite good. But yeah, if the Roxxon guy is out there again and he's got something marked S35VN for that cheap, I'm going to pick it up for you guys. And then yeah, the wear resistance definitely. But okay, so I'm experiencing a form of jealousy that I haven't experienced before. Now, the closest I can get to that I can think of is there is a store that shares a parking lot with a Harbor Freight. And if I do transfer, I'm going to talk to those guys. I will never financially recover from working next door to Harbor Freight, but gotta try. Yes, I'm in here for my 8th $14 angle grinder. You don't know my life. Which actually, I think I've bought 4 of the $10 angle grinders way back when. And one of them I gifted to a friend. I think 2 of them I handed to people. And then the ones that I kept are actually quite good. They work really well and they have been working. Like I'm not a hard user. You know, they've just been cutting up chunks of steel to go in the forge, but still, they've been quite good. Just imagine a Harbor Freight the size of a Walmart. How amazing would that be? Oh yeah, for a hot minute, Walmart out here would carry guns. A couple other places that have them. You know, that's where I got my Mossberg at. But just imagine Harbor Freight the size of Walmart. How amazing would that be? Yeah, if you don't do anything else at Harbor Freight, consumables, best place to get them. Like all the Harbor Freights out here are tiny. Trying to think of something with size comparison. Like the inside of those buildings, the sales floor is about as big as like the inside of a large gas station, like a large one. Bigger than Quick Trip. Like, if you took a Quick Trip and a half, basically. Oh, where's that crazy stuff that we had? Bill, your wife just said a Harbor Freight the size of a Walmart would be terrible. Excuse me? All right, so we got the 71-pound edge crush test cardboard to try this thing out on. Oh, God. Yeah, this thing ain't happy with the stuff. Okay, now we know. I wish I had about 4 more of these boxes to play with. Let's put it back from whence it came. Give me a second, guys. Yeah. Wait, we're... Dude, those hander pants cause so much pain. Well, I am not one to question the sanctity of another man's marriage. That's some couple therapy there. Sitting in the marriage counselor's office. So what seems to be the problem? She doesn't like Harbor Freight. Keep taking her there for dates. She keeps getting mad. No, that was one of the things that my uncle was talking about, like way back when Harbor Freight was nowhere near as well known, like it wasn't a default go-to place. As he was talking about, like if I was going to be doing any kind of stuff, I needed to be going to Harbor Freight to get tools. And like, I had never heard of Harbor Freight at that point, never been to one, nothing. And then, I went to one with my dad. No, I've bought a bunch of stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm staring at a bunch of shelving from Harbor Freight right now in the war room. I'm leaving and I'm taking the kids to Harbor Freight. I'll be back in an hour. Sorry, my brain was still circling the drain on that one. But yeah, I've bought stacks and stacks and stacks of angle grinder discs. And that's the thing, like those cheap angle grinders, like I've got one that's set up with a cup wire wheel on it, and the other one's set up with cutting discs. And then I've got a different one that I bought ages ago that I think that one's got the hard stone on it. You've got 3 angle grinders in the shop. Well, yeah, and I mean, that's the thing is like, with Harbor Freight, it's either going to last 2 days or 20 years. Nothing in between. No, you know what? I've got 4 angle grinders. One of them is the Chicago Electric from Harbor Freight that belonged to my uncle years and years ago that still gets use. Back when I went through my first quarter weld class, I had that thing with me all the time. Yeah, dude, I still say skip the Buck 119 clones. Get you that Gordon flipper tab knife. All right, Bill. I wasn't actually yelling at your wife. It's too many jokes I had to make there. Oh, I've talked to grown men at work that don't know what Harbor Freight is. I'm like, dude, I'm not looking you in the eye anymore. And I have bought so many 2, 3, and 4 pound hammers from Harbor Freight. Like if you're getting into blacksmithing or you need to, heat some steel and hammer it out, those hammers can be really good. For like $7. You just got to know how to grind the faces right for the work. There's the cross peen hammers. They don't have a straight peen, I don't think. No. But, you can make you a good round flat out of them easily with even just an angle grinder. You're kidding. Maybe I got lucky at mine? I don't know. I wonder if you could get that shipped out from the website. I bet you get it on the website. It's like if you weren't there for it, the Harbor Freight Icon knife. I tried to get that, and of course that sold out every single time. So I ordered it through the website, and then it took like 2 months to ship out. And they made the guy from FedEx walk from California to Georgia, apparently, because that was weeks. I think it took like 2 weeks to get here once they shipped it out. Maxilla, what is up, dude? So we've got a Massalong and 7CR17 here to test out. We've been going in on it. Punisher, you want to pick a fart out? Fook, you get the next one. Just remind me in about 45 minutes here. Yeah, scuba's an option. We'll do that. We'll give him the upcycle on the arm. Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, dude. Blame it on a number of different sources, but yeah, my memory is completely wrecked. It don't work. Oh no. What? It does the jaw same. We haven't heard that one before. Maxilla, stick around for a bit. I already gave the next one to Fook, but you can have the one after that, as long as we don't forget. Have we never done the upcycle on this one? What? Okay. All right. Just, like I said, Maxilla, remind me about 45 minutes here. That was an entire series of those things I've never heard before. Like, that thing just became a lot cooler. That just leaves the robot and the alien as my least favorites. But we'll hang on to the robot in case 1977 Alive and Kicking gets here. Yeah, I don't think the scuba guys come up since we did since we found the upcycle on them. But Man, that is good to know. Yeah, we've done upcycle on the Knight, the Mummy, the Alien, the Robot, everything except the Scuba guy. That's the only one that was left. And I thought we'd already gotten him. Satisfaction's going to have to drop by here to see where all the people I'm stealing from him are going. Yeah, we'll check the edge on this after I finish off the last piece of this box. Oh, and we didn't look to see if Massalong had actual titanium. Say, Maxilla starting to call people names here. Oh man, this right here is taking a huge beat down from both this and this. Like, I don't know why, but this is not a broken down corner. This is very, very sharp. I will say we're seeing a lot more hairline scratches in here already than we do with 8CR. That's for sure. Like, ACR will pick up those hairlines, but yeah, this is definitely getting them. Yeah, as we're about an hour and 20 some odd minutes in, and these cuts are definitely not clean. Like, oh, nice. Yeah, I had to get up and go to the bank. I inherited a bunch of land in Texas or something like that, but the stuff's paying royalties every month, so I got to get direct deposit set up. And I had to go to the bank and get a letter, and right now I'm waiting until tomorrow morning to get the whole thing in the mailbox, so that there's not a chance something's going to happen to it while it's waiting for the mail person to pick it up. That's the thing, we don't know what we're getting yet. Oh yeah, this is worn. Well, we're doing the thing again. So the rights to the minerals on there are leased out, the oil, the natural gas, the what have you. Those rights are leased out. They pay royalties every month. And I've got like 6 months worth of royalties backed up waiting on me to get the direct deposit stuff to them. And so I got a sheet saying like what the royalty percentages are and all that, but it's so confusing that I have no clue what I'm looking at. So like it could be a significant amount that's going to help us get back above water again, or it could be next to nothing. I don't know yet. I am really hoping it's something significant. My cousin helped get all this stuff set up with the executing the estate. So, yeah. And me with knives, I'm assuming that's going to be a mass along. So this has gone up to $15.99, which is about $8 too much. Okay, so you're talking about the K&I 215? Okay, I am adding this Massillon K&I 25 to the list. That is it says titanium handle. So add to list, add to list. Okay, so we're looking for SW701 Mini. Brody. Oh. I don't know whether I'm going to worry about a 2-inch blade. S35VN. You know what? I'll add it to the list. Me with knives. What's up? Fit. Oh, yeah. Okay, so all that sorted out. Again, I'm not sure what to make of the edge wear here. It's cutting the cardboard like crap. It's definitely showing some edge wear here. So we'll keep going with it. What kind of edge crush are we looking at this? 32? Okay. I think we're going to have to start going by just how long it takes it to start cutting like crap. The paper is not really giving me much information. Outside of maybe catastrophic edge wear. But no, so the Axis Lock Ozark Trail lasted an hour. After we put the 18-degree edge on it, then it lasted like 3 hours. Yeah, I think I want to say this edge is, no, this one didn't get the 18-degree edge on it. This is factory edge. What I'm looking at now is how much it's struggling to cut this stuff, and this is like pretty lightweight cardboard. Yeah, like this is bad. This is bad. So, I mean, we got maybe an hour and a half out of it before this started getting too bad. So, what do we want to do with this? We want to just, I guess we want to sharpen this one up and see how long it takes to wear out on the 18 degrees. It's like I'd say this is pretty well shot. Oh yeah. So I am definitely looking forward to checking out Walmart's offerings this year. What was it? If they just get a knife on ball bearings with those axis locks, we'd have something to freak out over. All right, let me grab the magic box. Yeah, I need to get one of those best sharpness testers. I need to. That's something I'm going to be looking at if, damn it. Sorry, guys. Jesus Christ, stuff's falling over left and right. But, yeah, if the royalties that I have waiting on me are significant, then I'm going to be getting one of those edge testers. Just give us a chance to really, really get some solid information and some solid useful information. Well, the home gamer version's like $200. That's expensive, but it's not out of control. You know, yes, that's more than I have to work with right now. But, like, you know, and honestly, if you're not doing stuff like this, you don't really have a strong need for it. By the way, instead of a Sharpie, use a dry erase marker for these edges. But yeah, like, right? Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, man. That's more than I've got right now, but if I get lucky, you know, that's the thing is I got to mail this paperwork out and then just wait. Like, once I get my direct deposit stuff and start getting all that set up, I have no idea what kind of time frame I'm gonna have to wait. Like, is it gonna be a week? Is it gonna be 6 weeks? I've got no idea. That went really fast. I'm not feeling a meaningful burr on here yet. But I mean, you got to think like how much more yeah, like I said, I have no idea. That's part of what's killing me too. Is like I have no idea what to expect from this at all. So, you know, I have no idea where exactly to set my hopes, you know? Go back, relive. So, I inherited some land out in Texas, or at least the mineral rights to the land. I think it's the land itself, but it pays out monthly royalties for the guys that are leasing the land to use the resources on it. The oil and the natural gas and all that. Thing is, I don't know how much it's going to be, and I don't know when I'm going to know. You know, if it's a significant amount, that'll buy me some room to breathe. It's taking the edge back on slowly. But it's like it's taking a while to pull a burr off of the 220. Well, it might be a good sign, but I'm also reprofiling the entire edge from the ground up, so removing a lot of material. And I ordered a oh, yeah, you gotta build those guys, man. If you're good at something, never teach a man to fish for a day. I think that's how it goes. Man, the numbers are so low tonight. Good Lord. Hey, we got 4 in here. Up to 5. Yay! All right, on to 320. Now it should go a lot faster. I don't think I've been fishing in about 11 years here. That was a guy that very near and dear to my heart, but he is out of the state and kind of on a lifestyle path that I can't really keep up with him on. But back when he lived over here in Georgia, he had this stocked carp pond that he'd go to, and you pay a few bucks and they let you fish, and you talk about pulling like 9, 10, 12-pound carp out of there non-stop. You know, you catch them, toss them back, catch them, toss them back. No, you want to ruin a life, teach a fish how to man. Taxes! I haven't been hunting. That's something that poor people don't do, especially not where I grew up. I don't know how much I'd like it. Like, for the longest time, I wanted to go do boar hunting with a spear and a 45. But having not had the opportunity to do so, I don't know whether or not I'd actually enjoy it. And of course, I don't have much of a desire to hunt for sport. Yeah, well, where I grew up, we're talking about an inner city ass area. Like a little patch of garbage just outside Atlanta. Okay, I think I've already been through this side, but just to be sure. Yeah, the only thing outside of the ordinary I did for someone out in that area is my dad would take us out doing some cave exploring on a sort of regular basis. You know, as a result of that cave exploration, I have been where no other human being has ever set foot before, which I tell you right now, that is a hell of a head trip. Because the group he was with had just opened a passage that had never been opened before, and I was the only person small enough to go in there. So I got to be the first one in. It's one of the only times from that part of my life. Yeah, Carlsbad. I'm trying to remember what, because I think Carlsbad has been commercialized. I think that one's really well known. Like there's one called Mammoth Cave that is actually mammoth. That thing is gigantic, and Dad went on a trip there to go through and help explore and document. So he pops up in a documentary that's kind of a background character about Mammoth Cave. At one point, he participated in a cave rescue that made it on the news. So I got to see the back of his jacket on TV one time. There's a picture of me and my brother on the cover of a small magazine that the caving groups all circulated. It's like there's a National Speleological Society, which that's what they do. Which, if you see a yellow bumper sticker with like 3 bats on it on the back of someone's car, and yes, Mook, I am seeing your thing too, but I'm on a tangent. Yeah, dude, if they were selling stuff in the bottom of the cave, it's commercialized. You know, when I'm talking about caves, I'm talking about stuff where the only people that have been in there are like experienced cave explorers. You know, there's one of them, I think it's Petty John's, where you have to just basically rappel free hanging on a rope 40 feet down to get in there. But there's a lot of those caves where, you know, very few people have ever been in them. There's a part of me that kind of misses doing stuff like that, fishing and all that, but there's another part of me that's just like, you know what? I am definitely cityfied, and I'm fine with it. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's been, like, commercialized for a while. What the... Josh, what's going on, dude? I'm trying to remember. There's one over here that's been commercialized. Like, they got, you know, a concrete path through there. They got guardrail, or they got ropes on the side of the path, kind of like, you know, guardrails. They may have guardrails in there now. But for the life of me, I cannot remember the name of it now. I'm not sure, but I think I got 2 800s and a ceramic on here. I know these are supposed to be exchangeable somehow, but I'm not sure how. But we'll go through it. No. No, this is in Georgia. It's like something waterfall. It's like the thing is the size of basically the size of a closet, and it's got a waterfall on the back that's very tiny and disappointing. Something falls. I cannot remember. I don't know if they're magnetic or not. That's what I was kind of wondering. I don't believe they're magnetic. You know, the strange thing is we had a lot of people that would go with us that were claustrophobic that weren't bothered in the least down in caves. Not saying that's everybody, but it's just one of those weird phenomena. Phenomena, do 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 do. Phenomena, do 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 do. Phenomena, that hit my foot. You're welcome for that, by the way. Yeah, the wife's not watching. I would have heard her yell from upstairs on that one. Phenomenon. Do, 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 do. The origins of that song are something that I'm not going to go into in front of Bill's wife and kid. But yeah, the origins of that song are the exactly not Muppets. No, it's not Howard's Waterfall. No, but I've been in Howard's Waterfall a bunch of times. No, I was gonna say, okay. So the Manamana song was the music in a Italian softcore porn, if memory serves. Have not heard of Slackjaw. Well, no, the Manamana song was a song on Sesame Street with Muppets, but before that, it was it was in the background of a an Italian softcore porn, if memory serves right. It was weird. But yeah, if you're gonna save up, with what I know right now, the precision adjust is the way to go. Like I said, the one I've got's 120 bucks. This one is the one to get. You know, the Pro, like, do you really need to spend $300 for like a few extra bells and whistles that you don't really need? Would I like to have one? Sure, it's nicer than mine. Do I have to have one? No. Now, I'll be able to tell you more at some point here when I get to test out the $35 units, but maybe hold off until I do that. That way I can compare it to this one and give you some feedback on it. You know, not like my opinion's the end all be all, but you know, it's at least some frame of reference. It's like, I wouldn't want to say buy one for 35 bucks and then have a, and no, I don't know what it was from the 70s. You'd have to look it up. I just remember that little tidbit and it's like, wow, that's amazing. But yeah, like, me being in a position where I don't need to have it, I'd like to be able to tell you whether or not like the stones are soft enough that they dish out when you're using them and, you know, the centers start wearing. You know, anything like that that could be a problem. I'd like to be able to tell you what it is before you blow your money on it. Because me being in a position of not needing one now means it's a lot less painful if it's a failure. Fook, you beating Punisher out on the trivia, dude. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I looked at with those $35 units is you could buy better stones for it, but then you're starting to creep up on the cost of one of these. And at that point, get one of these. You know, I will say the Kin Onion belt grinder, that thing spoiled me. You know, I got used to being able to sharpen something to at least shaving in about 3 minutes. But the edge on that is nowhere close to the edge coming off of this. No, but normally you're on top of it with the trivia, and I'm assuming you're on, you're hitting Google on that stuff really fast and popping back in, but I could be wrong. What's going on, dude? So we got this mass along in 7CR17 that we've been running, and it took an hour and a half for the edge to start crapping out, so we're putting 18 degrees on it and seeing how long that lasts. And we were discussing Italian softcore porn. But we're almost done with this. We're about to strop this thing up and see how it do. I know it's going to be cutting a whole lot better than it was. I still don't quite have getting a perfectly mirrored edge on this thing yet. Yeah. Right, we got shiny edge. I'm wondering why he went with that naming convention. Maybe he didn't like what CRKT was doing to him. All right, so that's done. We're gonna strop this thing half to death. I'm not sure I've mentioned recently how in love I am with this Work Sharp Precision Adjust. I am so glad I saved up for it. Well, no, knockoff knives is our Sheldon Cooper. He goes off on those like anytime a steel comes up, he's gonna pop up with the chemical formulation for it like that. That doesn't mean me with knives isn't knowledgeable. I'll tell you right now, if it's not raining tomorrow, I am so scared of going out to try to finish cutting the grass. So I really don't want to find out I didn't successfully eliminate that bee's nest. Like, they weren't super aggressive bees, but they got me one good time. Yeah, I mean, I think Bernadette might have been the cutest one in the cast. That being said, like, the type of women I am most interested in don't really show up on TV that often. Like, they don't really get the mainstream attention. There was one time I was at a sweat lodge, fixing to do a sweat, and the guy pouring the sweat was a Lakota sun dancer. And I'm helping him build the fire and everything and get it set up. And we find a small yellow jacket's nest, and I hear him in the most stereotypical voice ever. I respect all forms of life, except those. Kill those motherfuckers. No. No, like I like them on the chubbier side with offensively large sweater kittens. All right, folks, the end is nigh. We're almost done stropping this thing up. Bill, you should go ahead and get something out and start stropping now. I don't know, everyone's got their own thing. Like, I have no qualms about my personal taste. There is no shame in this particular game. You know, that being said, you know, I like a bit of everything, but that's where I gravitate the most. Okay, that is the last strop. We have completely reprofiled this edge down. And like the edge is definitely as close to a mirror as I can possibly get it. There's just some slight irregularities. Andrew Fett, what is up? Yeah, we got the mass along in 7CR17 that lasted about an hour and a half before the cuts became complete garbage. So we reprofiled the edge. All right, now how's she cut? Oh yeah. Let's see. Let's do our paper test. I cannot tell you how much joy I extract from that right after I sharpen it. I'm sure that's a lot of us, but still. Just, my God. Lord help me when I can finally get one of those edge sharpness testers. Yeah, so we've gone from this to this. God, that is so much better, you guys. Doesn't do anything to fix the ergonomics, but that is so much better. I think my initial guess of hour and a half to hour 45 minutes was accurate. God, that is so much better. I'm just curious to see how long this is going to last with that with the new edge. That's what I want to know. That's what we're going to find out. Yeah, well, he usually doesn't. Maxilla doesn't usually hang out for too long when he comes in. And if we can totally wipe this edge out, this will be something that I practice hand sharpening on. And I guess tomorrow I'm going to have to go ahead and make my peace with knocking myself out early, because I got to be planning to leave here at like 7:15 in the morning to get the blade show. It's not that it takes that long to drive out there. It's like 20 some odd minutes, but me and the guys I'm riding with, we really like to be there early and be in line early, because that line will go all the way down the stairs, all the way around the bottom floor, all the way out the building, down the hallway to the parking deck. Like, it is nuts. I do not want to stand there waiting that damn long. Oh yeah, smart choice. All right, Fook, it's up to you, man. Which one do you want? Good looking out, though. Good looking out. I totally forgot. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have fun at the show. I've actually managed to put back a few bucks this year, so in an ideal world, on day one, I find a prototype to buy something, and then on day 3, I can actually pick up a couple other ones. All right, you want the Knight. You want to go up or down on the handle? Fook, you want to go up or down on the handle? Oh, you'll find out in a second, Andrew. All right, well, we're going through a down cycle on the handle then. Oh, up. All right. We going up. These short guys are like, hey, girl, let me go up on you. That is fantastic. All right. So the Knight, the Ninja, and Scuba Guy are all done. If hell freezes over and I get to turn the earning on my channel, That's going to be the reward for Super Chats. Patrick McCarthy, what's going on, dude? So, the 20-sided die picked out this Massillon in 7CR17. And, yeah, Alien. The edge wore out in about an hour and a half, so it's got a brand new 18-degree edge on it. Yeah, we did Scuba Guy, Alien, Ninja, and Knight. Okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, track's good. I just don't know if I have anything to add that I didn't add last time. We're gassing on about Blade Show and other things. But yeah, the lines are nuts. And I don't know if Zach in the Wild's video caught it, but like while you're in line and walking through the building, there are crowds of like 12, 13, 14-year-olds of ballad songs. You just hear click, 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 click. And there's always one guy, does not look like anyone's dad, that also has a ballad song doing tricks there that looks like he has no business hanging out with them kids. It's been like that every year I've been. We're on this Massillon that it was the not titanium knife in 7CR. The edge wore out after an hour and a half, and we just got done putting a brand new 18-degree edge on it. See how long that holds up. Or, we started at 7, so it's 9:13 now. So we're a half hour in on the new edge. And we thought it was titanium, but it's not titanium. Let me dip back into my emotional support generic Mountain Dew. And I do have my emotional support caffeine if we go far enough. Well, I think it's just a kind of like what was it? Camillus does. They have that titanium outer coating on their steel, on their blades. I think they just did that with the handle to say titanium, which seems like an absolute waste. Right? Hey, keep going on Star Trek. I said I can't think of anything to add I didn't add last time. That's the only caveat. Either that, or we need to lower the property value and start talking about OnlyFans again. Cardboard cutting ASMR. Maybe I'll set it up so my feet are actually in the shot the whole time. Maybe that'll do it. Trying to remember what the ASMR voice was. Today we're going to be cutting some cardboard up for your audio pleasure. Here we are starting to cut. That was a nice long cut to soothe your ears. Feel yourself relaxing. Feel your stress melting away. Take that, Scott toilet paper! Feel your stress go away. That was the best ASMR voice you're getting out of me. Yeah, like that's the one thing that's going to keep the concurrent viewer count down on these live streams. We do crap like that, and people are like, you know what? Fuck this shit, I'm out, and they gone. Yeah, the cuts are a lot cleaner, but I'm still feeling some resistance on this. It doesn't seem like it should be there. We need to get that crazy cardboard out again and try that. Pretend that everything in your life that is negative is in this cardboard. Fuck you, Scott toilet paper! Everything negative is in the cardboard. Did the ASMR and we're down to 9. All right. We keep the property value low around here, boys. Oh, 2 people came back. Yeah, chat froze up. Give me a second here. Well, here's where we're going to cut a happy little box. Yeah, I can't figure out how to tie this to Bob Ross. I'm trying to think of something, guys. Oh, we got a sturdy box here. No edge crush test? Oh, you know what? This one's going to be the whole shredded cardboard. 32 pounds. Yeah. That one's got those tear along dotted line deals that I hate. All right, this is the crazy 71-pound stuff. Double layers. Let's see how this cuts it. Oh, God. Okay, a lot better than before, but still hard. And while this isn't as bad as the ST-155 was, this right here, it hurts now so much. The ergos looked like they'd be all right. I'm not going to lie. They looked like they'd be okay. I kind of expected them to be decent, but you kind of got this right here where, you know, it always beats my hand up. But if I'm holding it like I normally do, I've got this right here where these are hard 90-degree angles. They're not chamfered at all. So I'm trying to be careful with that. Like again, this does not go as far into the Hall of Shame as the ST-155. And I got to remember, next live stream we do, I got to bring the Monocala down, the Assault Team 1, and get some 14C28M back in the mix. Because like I was interested in this, but I was also not. But the 20-sided die decided my fate. Of course, on the factory edge, with it being, you know, not as good as the edge I just put on it, it also required a lot more pressure downwards to make these cuts. I used to play. I love to play. However, two things happened. My group fell apart. So every campaign that I've done, we have made it. I've had one go for like 2 years, one go for a year, one go for about 3 months, and the last one went one session. The first few were destroyed by guys that kept saying irrational fear. Most of my fears are pretty rational, but you know, I was responsible for scheduling everything. So I'd get everybody in the group chat, and I'd go through the calendar and go through dates until everyone said they could go. And then the week before, hey, are we all still good to go? Yeah. The night before, we all still good to go? Yes, we are. Then somebody wouldn't show up. We'd be sitting around waiting, and then we call them like, I decided to go do something else. And so our DMs wouldn't, like, one DM that we had, he'd just say, all right, run a sheet. Our next DM didn't want to run without somebody there, so they weren't missing a ton of stuff when they came back. So we hit a point where it'd be like 6 sessions in a row that we didn't get to play. So I was like, all right, I'm done here. And the last one, everything just kind of went off the rails. Our DM got married and had a kid. Schedules, I couldn't get them to line up before that happened. And one of my primary players, he just had a kid. One of my players just decided to stop talking to me with no reason, no rhyme, no nothing. One of our guys is no longer with us. I mean, like, when I say the group fell apart, it fell apart. Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing, is like, one campaign we had lasted forever, and by the end of it, so many people were no showing that each of us was running 2 character sheets. And I'll be honest, running 2 character sheets at a time is a lot of fun. Like, I enjoy running 2 character sheets, especially with like completely different stat sets, because like I was always the guy with the big sword, doing as much damage as possible, which I never really quite got the hang of that. You know, like I'd definitely be pushing out damage when the dice cooperated. But, you know, getting into actual combat, like, so many dice went to dice jail. It's not even funny. And, so like, I'd have great stats, but I'd be rolling 2s all night when I needed, you know, 16s. And then, one campaign that we ran for a little while that didn't last long. I picked a wizard, and I don't think we quite understood the leveling on the spells, or at least my DM didn't quite get it. So like, I had this right out of the gate ability. It's just a giant cone of fire that covered a huge area and had lots of dice on it. And I mean, this is right out of the gate at like level 2. So that was fun. It was like playing with a cheat code. And that's the thing, like the last one that we did, the last one that we did, I played competitive Magic the Gathering for years. It wasn't Fire Hands. It was, I can't remember what it was called. It's been years. But, you know, I played competitive Magic the Gathering for years. Wizards of the Coast buys out, shit. Can't remember the name of it now. But they buy out D&D, and so we get the Ravnica module. I got super pumped about playing that, so I bought the book, hooked the DM up with it, and got everything lined up to play. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna TSR, yes. It's like, I'm gonna do something different. So I can't remember the name of the race now, but they were basically Minotaurs. And so it's like, you know what? I'm gonna pick one of the Minotaurs. He's gonna be a spellcaster, which will already be a little bit of a challenge, but he'll also have some grappling skills. So I figure I can throw spells, and then if need be, I can reach out and grab somebody and you know, not necessarily mess them up, but at least defend myself. So I figured that'd be an interesting premise for a character. And we got one session out of that. And I got to screw around with Mage Hand and a couple other things that I've never used before. And I had fun with that. Like, I really liked where that was going. And only one session out of it. And of course, now if I could get another group together, my schedule is so erratic that there's no way I can plan that ahead of time. Like, unless everybody can meet like whatever night I've got open with next to no warning, can't really do a lot. Like I said, don't let me find out I don't have to work money. I don't think that'll be the case, but it's a nice thought. Man. This knife ain't liking this box at all. I tell you what, boys. God almighty. I think I'm done doing this box with this knife. Let's try a different knife on this box and see what it is. All right, Fook, I completely understand, man. I appreciate you being here. So yeah, it's just this box. This box is tough. And my hand hurts too much to keep cutting it with this knife. And this is supposed to just be 44-pound test. Like, Jesus H, zombies. Let me see if... And I cut up the ECT part of it. Did I? Yeah. It's 44-pound cardboard. It should have been an easy kill. Yeah, if you got my earlier video today on the O knife, I'm actually kind of curious to see if literally anybody at Blade Show recognizes my tattoo and says something. Like, I highly doubt it. Like, I so highly doubt it. But that would be cool. All right, Punisher, I appreciate you being here, man. I do. I appreciate you being here regularly, too. Yeah, I'm gonna try to at least give it my usual 4 hours. However, we will have a low viewer count tonight. All right, we finally got some cardboard that cuts sanely. Nah, Josh, you're good, man. You know, and again, I appreciate you being here listening. Trust me. I'm just trying to think of stuff to talk about now, and my brain's going totally blank. Like I've already talked about Blade Show. I've talked about finding a bunch of bees in my damn yard, cutting the grass. You know, I've talked about waiting to find out whether the land I inherited is gonna help take care of us. Really, really need that to come through for me. So I'm trying to think of something else to throw out there. Now I'm coming up with a whole bunch of nothing. No, you're good, dude. You're good. Welcome back. Yeah, we got people leaving. Fook left. Punisher's out of here. And I know I'm competing with larger channels doing their live streams. So it is what it is. No, so I found out in the middle of last week that I inherited some land out in Texas that has natural gas, oil rights, all that. So they're pulling natural gas and oil out of the ground. And it's paying royalties every month, but I've got to get the legal paperwork mailed in my direct deposit forms and then wait to see what it is. And, you know, it's not something I normally be talking about, you know, like this, but it's one of the things I have going on right now. And how do I want to get a prototype? Last year, I was just at Devo's booth, and he was selling the growlers. I liked what I saw, and then I saw one with a white micarta sitting there, and I was like, do you have any of these with the white micarta? He's like, no, that one's a prototype. I was like, I do want it, and we negotiated a price, and I bought it on the spot. And a buddy of mine bought a prototype from the Best Tech booth when I got the Dundee. I wouldn't have bought the Dundee, but he was buying a prototype there, and I got jealous and then went, I have to buy something too. And I grabbed the Dundee in red and black. So I'm hoping someone's got one there. But yeah, I'm not expecting like anything crazy out of the royalties on that, but there's such a wide range of what it could be. It could be a lot. It could just be a couple $100 a month. I don't know. I wish I did know so I could plan around it. But I just got to mail the stuff off and then wait it out. Favorite video game? That's so my game collection right now goes from the PS5 all the way back to the original Nintendo. All right, so picking a favorite game is next to impossible. I've got so many. You know, for the longest, the one that I played the most consistently was Destiny 2. I loved Destiny 2. Lot of love for yeah, even if it's only a few hundred, like we need whatever we can get. But you know, Destiny was a fantastic game. Destiny 2 was a good game with a lot of problems, and then Bungie said, hey, you guys paid for this game. Haha, fuck you. So like, I haven't played a flight simulator since Windows 3.1. So yeah, I don't know nothing about nothing with those. But like, yeah, Doom was awesome. Like Wolfenstein 3D, loved that. But I think we're talking about different Doom. But no, so like Destiny 2 comes out. I managed to land a spot in the beta. Got to play around with that for a while. But, you know, when I buy it, Battlefield, what was the one I played? It was like 2 Battlefields ago, something like that. It was fun, but I could never really get the hang of it. Not in the PvP setting. The way the maps were structured and how far away people were and how small the sprites were, like it all threw me for a loop. But you know, I buy the digital deluxe version of Destiny 2, and they say comes with DLC, comes with the DLC. Yeah, no, I'm talking about mid-90s Doom as well. You know, all that. So I play, it content droughts, so I put it down for a while, I come back. Yeah, you gotta pay $60 again for everything that's come out. So eventually I pay that, I start playing again, and then eventually they're like, yeah, we fixed all the problems that we never fixed. So you gotta pay $60 again though. So eventually I pay that and I start playing again, and now it's like, okay, well, we fixed everything, but you gotta spend $120 to play the full game now. It's like, nope. But yeah, no, so with the original Doom, that was a point in my life where I discovered MIDI files and started downloading those and screwing around with them. And I realized I could go into the DOS files on Doom and replace all the MIDI files for the music with my own MIDI files. So most of the music that I had for my copy of Doom was MIDI files of the Master of Puppets album. I played the hell out of Diablo 3 on the Switch and then on the PS4. Diablo 3 is an excellent game for the Switch. I've got a lot of hours into it, but the wife has got thousands. Because she wasn't a gamer, and then I got her a Switch and got her started on like Animal Crossing and Pokemon and Mario Kart, and then I threw Diablo 3 at her, and she really fell for it. I played till I burned out, and then I'd pick it up again and run for a while, and then burn out, and then run again for a while. Because personally, I like doing good. You don't need the book for the cheat codes on Doom. IDDQD, IDKFA, IDSPISPOPD. That's all you need. But like I like doing Legacy of Nightmares builds on Diablo 3. Like I'd find something cool that worked how I wanted it to, and then basically Legacy of Nightmares it. And it would take weeks to get the full set of everything I needed to make it work the way I wanted it to. Because there'd be some pieces of gear that just would not fucking drop. Or, you know, like it got so specific that I had to have very, very specific perks on pieces of gear to get my build right. So, you know, you might go through a couple of dozen of the same legendary item before you find the right one. Yeah, the newest game that I've gotten mileage out of, or the game that I've gotten the most mileage out of since it's like Destiny 2. Much as I want to say I love the game, I'm never touching it again. Not after everything Bungie's done. And I'm tired of having to pay for the whole game every 6 months, basically. So I moved on to Rocket League, which I enjoy, but that's one that you play with people. Like, you don't go in there by yourself unless you just don't like having any joy in your life whatsoever. And I moved on to Fortnite, and I will pick that up and play, but it's, again, I don't have people to play with. So yeah, I need to get GoldenEye. Like I've still got my Nintendo 6. So upstairs in the living room, PS4, PS5, PS3, Super Nintendo, Nintendo, 2 Nintendo Switches, another PS4. There's a few handhelds that are just generic emulator life support systems. Come downstairs. There's the Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition arcade cabinet. There's oh yeah, there's the NES Mini, the SNES Mini, and the Sega Genesis Mini up there. You come downstairs. There's 3 of the fake NES Minis from Amazon. There's a Sega Genesis. There's another Super Nintendo. There's another Nintendo. There is an original Xbox. And then there is PS2, TurboGrafx 16, Sega Dreamcast, Sega Saturn, Nintendo 64. There's the Retron 3, which you can play Super Nintendo, Nintendo, and Sega Genesis cartridges on. There's another PS3. There's an Xbox One. There's a Nintendo Wii. I've got a Nintendo Wii U upstairs. There's a Virtual Boy down here. There's 2 Oculus Quest 2s down here. There is a Retro Duo Portable, which is a portable system that'll play Nintendo and Super Nintendo cartridges. What the hell else? I think that covers just about all of it. And there's a brick Game Boy that kind of works. But I think that covers the bulk of the collection. I may be missing 1 or 2 things that I can't think of right now. So that's why I say picking a favorite's really hard to do. Now, one thing that we used to have a lot of fun with, if you've ever played Cruisin' World, either the arcade machines back in the day or like the Nintendo 64 copy has an interesting feature. So you can race in practice mode and leave a ghost behind, and you'll have you a ghost car, and you can set your fastest time possible, and then somebody else can just pick the game up and race against your ghost. Oh, nice. Enjoy the feat of a hardworking man. But so you know what we do is when I was at the place where I stayed baked 24/7, we'd like you'd run, you'd leave the fastest time possible, and you'd leave the ghost on and not turn the Nintendo 64 off. Hand the controller to somebody else. They'd spend however long they needed to beat your ghost. So then somebody else would pick up the controller and race their ghost, and we just pass the controller around, and that N64 might not get turned off for 3 weeks straight. Like we had 1 track we used, we had 1 car we used. It's the fastest car in the game. And we got it so dialed in that if you saw like a little puff of smoke off your tires from turning too fast, you lost. You had to start over again. Like that, I forgot that's the wrong cardboard. Let's see if this will cut worth of crap. Like we really had that down to like milliseconds. See, like I love that. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. My God, did I play the hell out of that. That was one where I'd sit down, just start a fresh game up, and I could speed run through the end of the game in like 30 minutes. And that was one kind of like Cruisin' World. We had a game mode. We played graffiti on Marseille, France. And graffiti, whenever you do a trick on something, it paints that that obstacle, that ramp, whatever. That ramp, it'll paint it a certain color, like your color, your blue or your red. And then if someone else does a bigger trick off that ramp, it gets painted their color. And because I was the guy with no social life and I had nothing going on, you know, I'd be sitting there just playing all day nonstop. So there was that and Cruising World. You know, guys that show up to hang out. You know, I'd bend them over and take it around town. Yeah, like, I'll mess around with GTA, but the problem is I don't really want to run the missions. I just want to steal cars and jump ramps. And it's really hard to find good places to just go and play. You know, find big ramps, do big jumps, you know, stuff like that. You know, it's not there. I'm trying to think, like, Final Fantasy VII. That's one of the best games ever made. The original, not the remake. Gran Turismo. Huge Gran Turismo fan. I played the living hell out of 1, 2, 3, 4. Played 5 quite a bit. Gran Turismo Sport, I played that some, and it just kind of started losing me. GTA 7, I'm not buying that. Patrick went somewhere else with it. But, yeah, I've played like, way back when, before I got sucked into shooters like, you know, Destiny. All I played was fighting, racing, and puzzle games. So, Street Fighter is one of my all-time favorites. You got Gran Turismo, Tetris. Oh, what the hell's Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo? Like, I played the hell out of that. Tetrisphere, Tetris Worlds. You know, I got really good at those. Tetris on the Game Boy, like, my record on the Game Boy was like 360 some odd lines. You know, which at the time was ridiculous. And that was one everybody had a copy on their computer or something like that. So, you know, guys would break it out, and then all of a sudden I'm absolutely annihilating their top scores. And they can't keep up with me. Like, that was enjoyable, just because I like Tetris a whole lot. Trying to think, like, what else was there? And I also enjoyed a lot of games that weren't that good. You know, like, there's a fighting game on Sega Genesis. It's on Super Nintendo. My copy was Super Nintendo. Yeah, right. And then it was on like CDI or something like that. But Balls 3D, if you've ever seen that being played, it is wild. It's like a 2.5D fighter, and all the characters are just balls held together, giving the impression of the character they're supposed to be. But I had so much fun with it, and going back and looking at it now, wow. Eternal Champions on the Sega Genesis, that was another one that I loved. I got a copy of it again at a flea market some years ago, and I cannot play it again. I can't play it anymore. Like, and part of the reason I fell so in love with it is at the point in time where I played it a lot, I didn't really have a lot of choice in my games. I had to play whatever I had. So, like, that one, me and a friend of mine both liked it, so we both got, you know, competent at it. Killer Instinct. Oh my God, Killer Instinct is one of my favorite games ever. I still hate the fact that they did what they did putting it on Xbox. Yeah. Haven't played that. Oh, who here has played Katamari Damacy? That is another one of my all-time favorite games. Yeah, Killer Instinct, that was an absolute masterpiece. You know, Mortal Kombat 2 and 3, I've played those a lot. Yeah, Katamari Damacy is fantastic. Weird, but fantastic. What What else is there? Sorry, I'm trying to think of some of my other favorites. There was the PS2 version of Gauntlet Legends. It's kind of like a Diablo style game. Very much like a Diablo style game, only without the oh, what the hell is it? Without the in-game content. Jesus Christ, it's been so long since I played Diablo 3 that I forgot the names of the two things you can do at the end game. Toe Jam and Earl, I never really got to play that one. But, you know, I figured out a memory card hack on Gauntlet Legends and had a blast with that. Earthworm Jim is one of those that I love, but I only got to play it a couple of times way back when. Again, I had to play what I had. I didn't really get much choice in it. The only game I've got on the TurboGrafx 16 right now is Splatterhouse. And I'll play that occasionally just for the nostalgia. But I'm not good at it at all. Like this thing, the older I get, the worse I get at these games. Like I'm not as good as I used to be at anything anymore. Which is unfortunate, but I think it's also really common. Like I can't do anything as competently as I used to with video games. You know, like I go in on Fortnite, and right now I'll go in with one of my kids when we're both available. We have fun with it. It's relaxed. It's chill. I got some friends, they go in and they just aggro out. Like they're always like chasing down gunfights and stuff like that, and they keep getting us killed like really early in the match. And it's like, bro, no, let's drop kind of farther away. Let's work our way in slowly. Let's pick our fights carefully. Like, let's do what we do when we win. Like, no, I want to fight. We're hot dropping. All right, well. You know, I'm not that good at it. Oh, God, Battletoads. I had Battletoads on the Game Boy. Like, I think I get to the last boss at about that, and at about that point I get smashed out. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1 and the arcade game, Turtles in Time. I get a long way into Ninja Turtles, and I got really good at making it past the electrified seaweed. Like, I can do that pretty consistently. But so many of these games I never actually beat. Like, I was never able to finish these games off. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, get to that last stage, get smoked. Super Mario Brothers, get to the last stage, get smoked. Like, I never got to finish a lot of these. Final Fantasy VII, I got to the end of the game. I got hard stuck because I wasn't quite completely set up to deal with Sephiroth. So I was trying to get my way back up out of that pit, and somebody that was supposed to be my friend, two guys supposed to be my friends, broke into my house, stole all my PlayStation games and both my memory cards. Completely fucked me over on that. So I was about to see the end of that one, and then I got Final Fantasy VII again. And I was on my playthrough, and I was working on breeding a gold chocobo, I believe, was where I was. Or it was somewhere, but I was like I was balls deep in the game and enjoying it. My ex-wife decided, without consulting with me, to let her friend borrow it, which it was the husband of her quote-unquote best friend, but they were having an affair. But like, I try to find it, and she's like, oh, I'll let John borrow it. It's like, you did? And you didn't say anything to me about it? So I get it back, and there's a cigarette burn about that long, all the way down the backside of disc 1. I'm still a little bit salty about that, if you can't tell. Oh yeah, this is going to be a shredded cardboard box. Y'all give me a second, I'm processing more box. Yeah, like I saw Final Fantasy VIII, I believe, drop, and I was like, this is not what I wanted it to be. So I kind of fell off after that. I did have the original Final Fantasy on NES for a little while. I really enjoyed that, but it was kind of the same deal as Final Fantasy VII was. The things that I was there for were there. Super Mario RPG. I went back to play that again after a while and got lost so badly that I couldn't keep going. It was like the first time I played it, I got a long way into it and then got kind of hard stuck. It's like the games I've actually finished are so few and far between, especially from back in the day. I never could quite get those things worked out. You know, there were a couple of games I had to have a Game Genie to finish off. Legend of Zelda 2: Link's Adventure. That was one of them. Dear God, you had to have a Game Genie to finish that one. Jesus, that was a bastard. The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. I played that one all the way through. God's honest, finished that game off. It's one of my favorite games. Breath of the Wild. Oh yeah, no, they were way harder. Breath of the Wild, I played through that one. That was fun to finish off. Tears of the Kingdom. I played that and kind of hit some fatigue. I also took advantage of a couple of the infinite item glitches, so I wouldn't have to be harvesting resources for weeks on end. But that game just kind of, it petered out for me. Like, I could easily go in and finish the game off now and get it done. But I kind of burned out. It's like, you know what? I'll put this down for a while, and I'll come back to it later. But I've also, like, I didn't really get super into building stuff. Like, that's the thing. Like, if you're not going ham building stuff, you know, you're not really enjoying 2/3 of the game, basically. You know, and like the abilities that you get are a good bit weaker. They're not as fun as the abilities in Breath of the Wild were. You know, just yeah, I've got hours and hours and hours into Link to the Past. Like, it would probably take me forever to remember how to play through it now, and I'd probably get stuck or lost somewhere. But man, that was good. I'm trying to think, what else have I dumped a lot of time into? Pilot Wings, that was a lot of fun. As a matter of fact, a lot of those at one point, long story, but my Genesis, SNES, and NES all got stolen with all my games. I've had to replace all of my games in my collection about 3 times now. Just bad decisions and being around bad people. lessons hard learned. Trying to think, what else was there? Like, I'm gonna have to take a look at the games I got sitting over there. All right, Bill, have a good night, man. And it's starting to look like we're at a point where it's a good idea to just drop this because everybody's gone. So let's take a look at our edge on this, on the copy paper and the cardstock, and then I can wrap this thing up. Come on, cut nice. Yeah, I feel like we made it another... we're going with the Massillon KNI 245 or whatever. 7CR17. And we had stopped and put a new edge on it. Just did a complete profile on it. About an hour ago, we finished up that. And I'm trying to see how she cuts. And it's about like it was on the original edge. Like, we're still seeing the same kind of wear. No, it's not as bad. Like, it's so hard to gauge what is happening to this edge with paper. I really got to get one of those edge sharpness testers. Like, we're definitely seeing some significant wear here. Yeah, we are down to like 2 people watching, so it's probably a good point to just kind of wrap it up for the night. And I have still got a ton of cardboard for the next live stream waiting to go. But yeah, I think we are going to call it and say goodnight to everybody, and I am going to lay down and try to get myself on a good enough schedule to be ready for Blade Show at 7 o'clock Friday morning. And I'll do the aftermath video on that sometime tomorrow. But yeah, Josh, B for Baron, y'all have a great night. I appreciate y'all being here. I'm going to tag out. Y'all have a great night.